Being afraid to trust is what is killing you slowly. Finding peace in uncertainty lies within you. Peace is a direct reflection of the work that you do, not something that anyone gives to you. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Angelica. Finding peace in uncertainty to kickstart healing on our spiritual journey. To live a well-rounded life is extremely attainable. So let's get right into the video for today. These are two opposing words, right? Peace and uncertainty. How do you propose to find peace and not panic in uncertainty? We can through the word of the day, which is trust. All of this is super important, trusting the process, finding peace in uncertainty, because we're here to have a spiritual journey. Don't listen to what anybody tells you about the physicalities of the world and chasing the circular things of the world. We're really here to try to find our strength, our empowerment, our purpose. And yes, the good things, the cars, the house, the finances, that becomes a direct manifestation of the internal work that we've done, but nonetheless internal work. And that internal work is our spirituality. That's our spiritual journey. Finding healing, not putting yourself in a situation where you become part of the problem, but instead you become a reason for solutions in the world. And that's why kickstarting your spiritual journey is super important. To get there, my channel is all about offering and providing practicality that can be applied in our day-to-day lives to support our knock for self-development and empowerment and growth. So the question is how to find peace. This is a loaded question, but it has a very simple answer like I've already given for the word of the day. How to find peace is simple. All you have to do is trust. That's the only thing you have to do. The one thing that you have to do that's practical is to trust. Especially when it's dark, you can't see the end of the tunnel, you need to trust. But the question is how? How do we trust? I learned how to trust, and I found a way to apply this every day into my life, to just trust what is in front of me, trust the darkness, trust the pain, because my life has not been easy. Growing up, I was very sickly as a child. I had bronchial pneumonia, I had fainting spells, I had asthma, I had what doctors thought were a heart condition. There was a time that I was clinically pronounced dead. And so at the end of the day, I realized in the bigger scheme of things, I may like to think that I'm in control, but I'm really not. The only thing that allows me to go through the darkness is trusting what's happening in front of me and understanding that has taken me to where I'm supposed to be, and not try to fight what's happening in front of me. Even with all of these obstacles were put up in front of me, darkness, I was still active in sports growing up, even though that I was always sick. The doctors would always say things like, you probably shouldn't do that, you can't do that, you can't do this. All the things that doctors said I couldn't do, I was able to do it. Not because I was defiant, but because of the very simple fact that I was able to trust the process, to trust what was happening, to find my own way and my own path, regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the darkness, regardless of what other people thought about the situation that I was in. And I've always been connected to my spiritual side. Call it luck or fortune or protection from the universe, I don't know, but I've always been connected to my spiritual side, having vivid, very vivid telling dreams. I just knew things, could see things, could sense things. Tiny shifts, true intentions, things that people would naturally miss, I could pick up on it in a nanosecond. I could dream and predict things before they happened. And this has been happening in my life for as long as I can remember, even at 2 years old. And growing up, it started to scare me. Like, why can you dream of things and it actually happens? Why do you feel things that most people don't feel? Why? But all of that led me back to trusting and finding peace in the uncertainty. And this didn't come without its problems. People called me weird, a hippie, and tried to shun my light. My journal was read, and the contents of my journal was shared amongst people. It was literally shared to everyone. For a while, I felt lost and isolated and violated. I still feel lost to a certain degree, but a shift has been happening like I've talked about. I have been feeling it, that something great is coming, and this is why I'm sharing this message with you today. And because of these things, the violation with my journal, being sickly, all of that, it all started to bubble up to the surface. The things that people said, everything started to bubble up to the surface, feeling isolated, violated, absolutely not in my right state of mind. Then I started to see how things around me started falling apart. I lost my job. I gained weight. My mental health was an absolute ridiculousness, was an absolute shambles. My mental health was completely wrecked. When I say completely wrecked, it was absolutely shattered. I was in abusive situations. I was extremely broke. But the thing is, I held on to hope and I held out hope that this was all part of my spiritual journey to real growth, understanding, and self-development, to real attunement, enlightenment, and empowerment. I had to trust the process even though deep down, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically around me, I was completely tattered. The lowest point of my life. I couldn't see farther than my nose. I didn't know where my life was headed. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know if I would even, something as simple as losing the weight, I didn't know if I was strong enough to do that. My mental health was destroyed. But the thing is, somewhere deep down inside of me, there was a tiny flicker, a flicker of light that I held onto, and I trusted that flicker of light. So the word for today is trusting the process. You have to trust in what's happening in front of you. You have to trust the process. You have to trust that what is happening is leading you somewhere great. And even if it doesn't feel like it's taking you to someplace great, you have the power inside of you, the strength to trust that things will eventually lead you and manifest in the way that they should. Did you see how I didn't mention things would lead you and manifest in the way that you hope? Because sometimes the things that we hope for are not the things that we need to grow and evolve and attune and become enlightened and be empowered. Sometimes the things that we hope for keeps us small, it keeps us stuck, it keeps us playing it safe. With social media and toxicity and toxic role models, we've all become super disconnected from our spirituality. We've all but forgotten that we're meant to be here to have a spiritual experience, not a purely physical one. Even with the way our generation makes sense of relationships these days, it's more about what can you do for me and not how can we heal together. Do you see that it's completely different? We're meant to heal each other. And how can we heal each other if we're collectively running from our spiritual journeys individually? How can we come together to heal together if we're not trying to understand that we need to kickstart our spiritual journey by first of all trusting the process and finding peace in the uncertainty? We make it the other person's problem, make us feel at peace. Commercialized it where it becomes a thing of what value do you bring to me and how do you support me and what is it that you can offer me? But we have to offer each other something. You have to give and I have to give. You have to take and I have to take. But I think in our generation it's easier for us to just stay stuck and small. You want to believe in the strength and trust the process inside of you, that you have it. You have what it takes to get to where you need to be, no matter, regardless of how things unfold. Where you should be is where you will be, and you trust in the process that you have the strength to keep going no matter how things unfold. I personally, years went by where I felt stuck, alone, afraid, a shadow of myself, having dissociations. I could feel that my body was an autopilot. I could feel it. I felt removed from my body, almost like I was watching myself act, but I couldn't control any of my actions. I was just an autopilot. Something else was doing the controlling for me, and I was on the outside looking in, watching. Deep trauma can do that to you. Terrible experiences with people, with yourself, with your environment can do that to you. This message is not without saying I understand why you would get to a place where you no longer trust what the process is, because Like, what the fuck? Like, why is this happening? What is the process supposed to reveal to me? Why does it have to be so painful? Yes, I was there. Even till this very day, I still find myself in places like that. My insomnia became so bad I couldn't sleep. I would be awake all night, I would sleep all day, just in a really, really, really terrible place mentally, physically, and emotionally, and spiritually. But the thing is, I trusted enough to keep going. I kept going. Even when it was super dark and gloomy, I kept going. And this is something that you can do too. You have it in you to keep going. You have it in you to keep trusting the process. Do you know the miraculous thing? The miraculous thing is, even with the uncertainty, while I'm on this uncertain path, but I kept going, I kept trusting the process to keep going. The universe always sent me signs to show me that I was guided and protected. And even if it didn't feel like it, even if my environment didn't show that to me, I was on the right path. And slowly but surely, without shutting my emotions out, but instead using them, my emotions, as a navigation system, I started finding my peace in my uncertainty. The most beautiful thing that can happen. And not only did I start finding my peace in my uncertainty, I started finding my voice. Hence the birth of this channel. And it's not only been that, it's finding my courage, my discipline. My discipline. Finding my courage, my discipline, my love, my joy, and even what really breaks my heart. All the times I felt isolated and lost and violated, and all the traumatic experiences that I've been through. The peace that I find in my uncertainty lets me dig deep into why are you feeling like this, Angelica? What is really breaking your heart? And I'm able to figure it out slowly but surely. And yes, things are still uncertain, but still, there's peace in there, there's light in there, there's protection, there's guidance in there. And slowly but surely, and I keep saying slowly but surely because healing, finding peace and uncertainty, connecting to your spiritual journey, this is a lifelong quest. It's like snail speed, like a turtle. It does have to come slowly but surely. And slowly but surely, I started healing, connecting more to my intuition, my spirituality. Slowly, even though I am still just in the beginning stages of healing, as healing is not linear, the path is getting clearer and the obstacles are being overcome. But none of this would have happened and still be happening if I didn't go through all that I did and still keep my faith in the universe, trusting the process. If I didn't trust the process, I wouldn't be here right now. And I say that with so much emotion because there were so many times where I didn't want to be here. I'd come to that conclusion. I'd made peace with that part of myself that I didn't want to be here anymore. But I kept going. Said, Angelica, okay, fine, we understand you don't want to be here, but let's just try for one more day. Let's just trust the process for one more day. And then the next day, something happens out of the ordinary that just keeps me back on the path of, okay, well, I guess I can keep trusting for one more extra day. Let's just do one more extra day. And the one more extra day happens and comes around, and something tiny, something little, minute happens again that makes me say, oh wow, I guess I can keep going. I guess I do have the strength inside of me to keep going. I guess that I can really start to trust the process. So yes, I kept trusting the process, trusting the universe, trusting God, Yahweh. I kept trusting because if I gave up hope, where would I be? If you gave up hope right now, where would you be? So how can you let uncertainty in your life weigh you down? I want you to know that even when you're weighed down with uncertainty, even in that state, you can still trust the process. There is peace there. There's love there. There's light there. There's guidance. There's protection. There's manifestations. There's healing, even in the uncertainty, even when you're weighed down, especially when you're weighed down. I can't imagine how hard it is for you. I genuinely cannot imagine how hard it must be for you wherever you are. I can't imagine what you've gone through, what you're still going through, what you might go through. I can't imagine. but I know that you can do it. That's the beautiful thing about all of this, is that there's strength inside of you, this peace in the uncertainty. And I know that you can do it. I know that you have the strength to do it. It's inside of you. That power is there. That attunement is there. That enlightenment is there. Even with you feeling isolated, lost, violated, traumatized, hurt, left, abandoned, all of these emotions that you feel are real. They happen to you. You can't pretend they are not happening. They are there. Even with these emotions, you have the peace inside of you to weather through the uncertainty, to trust the process, and to come out victorious on the other end. So yes, you can keep trusting the process. You can do it. You can love those around you. You can try to come back into your body. No more dissociations, no more autopilot. It's okay, it's safe for you to come back, because now you know that there's peace even in the uncertainty, because you have the power inside of you to trust the process. And I know that it's scary. It's a scary thing to do. I was scared shitless before I was able to find my peace in my uncertainty. It's really scary to let peace into your world of uncertainty, but I promise you it is so worth it. It's absolutely worth it to let peace into your life, regardless of the situations happening emotionally and spiritually and physically. Peace is not what another person gives to you. You can meet the most amazing man or woman in your life, have the best job, have the greatest body, have the best friends, but if you're not trying to let peace into your heart, and only you know what peace is to you, if you're not trying to let peace into your heart, into your uncertainty, into your storms, into your rainy, gloomy day, no matter what the universe gives to you, it would never be enough. You would never be happy. You would never be able to love those around you. You would never be able to find the peace to be there to support yourself as well. The how might feel a little bit intangible. Trust the process. It's abstract. How do I trust the process? Well, first and foremost, you can trust the process by taking it one day at a time, taking it 30 minutes at a time, and just trusting. You put a tile one after the other right in front of you. You take one step, you put another tile in front of you to take another step. An hour after an hour, 30 minutes after 30 minutes, 2 minutes after 2 minutes, a month after a month. You are systematically trusting. That is the only way. That is the how. That is how you trust. One step after the other. You're not trying to rush it. You're not trying to avoid it. You are confronting it, but in a gentle way, in a loving way, in a guided way. And before you know what's happening, you turn back and you've actually moved 10 miles when you were so afraid of the uncertainty in even making one step. But you trusted that uncertainty. And now look, you've moved 50 miles from when you turned back and you've made 10 miles. So let me know your thoughts in the comments about finding peace in uncertainty, to kickstart your spiritual journey, to find healing, to find purpose, to find love and guidance and protection and attunement, enlightenment, empowerment. All of these things that are broken up support the absolute depth of self-development and growth in your life. And that's it for today in this video. I want you to take this word of encouragement to find the peace in your uncertainty in your life, so that you're connected to the source, you're connected to life, to the universe, to things that are bigger than you, and you're able to find who you are, what you are, and you're able to figure out how to get to who and what you want to be by trusting the uncertainty and finding peace in it that's right in front of you. I want you to hold on to this word. I want you to share this message with your friends. I want you to listen to this anytime you feel, I can't keep going on. I can't keep trusting the process. The uncertainty is too much. How can I find peace in this? I want you to play this back and listen to it, to find your power. It's buried deep inside of you. You were born with it. It's not something someone has to give to you. It's inside of you. That power is in you. to find that relationship, that job, your mental health, your environment. Trusting in that would lead you to where you're meant to be. And that's it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh my god, I am such a professional. Don't forget to honor who you are and love who you are, regardless of what's happening around you. You can do it. I know that you can do it. See you lovers in my next video every Friday, and au revoir. Bye bye.